What's up guys, Sheldon back with another review, and today we're looking at the Super Action statue Joseph JOESTAR from Jojo's Bizarre Adventure Part 2, Battle Tendency. So this is the limited edition from, I forgot, is it Winter Festival or Wonder Festival, but it's from about 2015 I believe, and it's just an alternate version that's based on the anime colors instead of the manga colors. So let's just take a quick look at the box though. We have some of the poses you can put Joseph in. Here are the accessories that he comes with. So he essentially is the same as the original Joseph, except he comes with this extra smirking face here, as well as the speech bubble, which we'll take a closer look at. But if you compare this figure to the original figure, you can see that it's practically exactly the same, except for the color choice and the extra accessory of the speech bubble and the smirking head here, though. And we'll take a closer look at the comparison in a second, but for now, let's just take a look at this box, though. So here you go. Over here, here's the box. Here is the side. Over here, the front side. And we have the top and the bottom. All right, cool. So let's go ahead and take a closer look at the accessories. To start us off, Joseph comes with a pair of fists. He comes with a pair of straight finger hands. He comes with a pair of chopping hands, one with his thumb kind of out and one with his thumb tucked in. He comes with a pointing hand. And finally, Joseph comes with a few hands to hold accessories. So this one has the trigger finger to hold the crossbow, which I'll take a close look at in a second. And this hand over here, it's kind of just gently has its fingers curved, and that's to hold the bottom of the crossbow, because it does require two hands. So I'll just show you in a couple of pictures. But on top of this hand, Joseph also comes with this other gripping hand for the hammer. I've just put it on the hammer just so I can save myself some time. But that pretty much does it for the hands, though. So that being said, let's go ahead and take a closer look at the weapons he comes with, though. So this hammer over here, I really like. Whoa, now it's out of focus. So I liked it when it was in focus. Let's see if I can do that right now. Okay, so this hammer I really like. The weapon over here, it's done in this nice purple. And if you take a closer look, if I can get my camera to work. Let's see, there we go. You can see that in the middle of it, you can have the wood grain is kind of sculpted there too. So that's a really nice detail, and I really do like that. And then, like I mentioned before, Joseph also comes with this crossbow over here. Really like the colors of this. I especially like the gold and the green over here, as well as kind of like the black on the wood. And again, this one just fits neatly into Joseph's trigger hand right here. And this hand over here, like I mentioned before, will simply just be there to hold the bottom of the crossbow, like that. But I do like this crossbow. And I do like that it comes with the, I guess the string drawn back, as well as the bullet over here. And Joseph also comes with this other string accessory that doesn't have the, I guess the bullet or ball with the string pulled back. And you can change them. You very simply take these, I don't know what these are called over here, but you just take these over here, you just pull them out. They're just pegged in through friction. You take those out, and then you plug them in. Each side has a particular shape peg, so I'm just going to plug it in right here, do it on camera for you guys really quickly. And voila, you have the version of the crossbow without its string pulled back. So that's very, very nice. Just going to give you a good look over here. Okay, and then aside from the weapons, Jojo also comes with his clackers. And these, let me see if I can zoom in on these for you guys and get that to focus. Alright, so these, each of them have a little J on them, I'm assuming for Jojo or Joseph. So that's pretty cool over here, really like the gold and purple, J and J. And to put these on, they just have this loop over here, and these fit onto any finger. So you could use it with the pointing hand over here, or my personal favorite, onto one of these straight finger hands over here. And that pretty much does it for weapons. On top of that, Joseph also comes with two other heads. Okay, so Joseph over here comes with this angry yelling head over here with the headband. It is a plot significant headband, but there it is. And he also comes with the regular face, neutral expression over here. So let's talk paint and sculpt really quickly though. So for the most part, the Super Action statue line has its faces painted and sculpted pretty cleanly over here. The eyes are always done really well. As you can see that there's like these small eyelashes painted in here. The lips are painted pretty cleanly as well, and some subtle shading. And the hair, each one is usually sculpted over here, and there's a nice black wash in it. So overall pretty good. So that does it for the heads though. Neutral face, smirking face, you have angry face over here. And then on top of those, Joseph also comes with the special accessory, which is the speech bubble. Alright, and I don't really remember what it says. It's like happy, lucky, something P. It's a line he doesn't really say that often, so I'm kind of surprised that it's included. I wish they included "oh no" instead, but I feel like that's just an anime thing. So he also does come with this speech bubble, as well as this display stand. Okay, so let's talk about the display stand though, because I feel like I've never actually talked about it before. So it does come in two pieces though. As you can see, you just have the short peg, the long peg. So you really just take the short peg and you plug it into that hole right there. And that pretty much makes your display stand. I don't know if people notice this, but you can take this display base apart. And so if you put two of these like hole pieces at the bottom, you could technically put two of those stands in there. So you can do that. And then of course you have Jojo no Kimi no Boken, or just JoJo's Bizarre Adventure on the base. And that pretty much does it for the accessories though. He also comes with a straight peg to hold this speech bubble up, but I don't think it's really worth mentioning. So without further ado though, let's go ahead and take a closer look at the figure itself. Alright, so for articulation, Joseph has that older style of body, I guess from the first or two generations of super action statues. So his articulation is actually different from the newer figures, and I'll do a comparison in a second. But for Joseph, he has the pretty much standard everywhere except the shoulders, so he has that hinged ball joint on the neck. But his hair does come down in the back a lot, so it actually hinders going up. And down, it's not so bad. He can kind of like look into his scarf. But let me just go ahead and pop off his head really quickly though, and take off his scarf. And his scarf is pegged into the body by these two little peg holes here, so you can remove it. So I'll just do that because it's easier though. But he has that hinged pawl peg over here, as you can kind of see. So it does allow him to rotate 360 if you'd like to. I'm just not going to force it over here because, again, the back of the hair does come down pretty far. But the neck base is on a ball joint as well, so it swivels around. So without the scarf, here it is going forward, and it does tend to pop back up for some reason. And here it is going back, so not that much, but you get some good side to side. And then for the shoulders, you get about fully horizontal over here. You get the full rotation. He also has a butterfly joint over here, so you get about, let's see, how many clicks? It's a little tight over here. Okay, I can't get it to move. Let me see. So you get about 1 click forward and about 1 click back. Again, don't want to force it that much because this is kind of an expensive figure. But you do get a bicep swivel over here for the, you get the shoulder butterfly joint. And speaking of bicep swivel, Joseph does have one right over here. So it does go 360 if you want it to though. He has double jointed elbows, so you can get him to go pretty far. He also has the elbows pegged into the bicep and into the forearm, so you technically could rotate right at the elbow and the forearm if you want to. As for the wrists, he has that hinged ball peg, so it does rotate and it does also swivel. For the hips, or abs I should say, over here he has a ball socket and another ball socket, I believe. So here it is kind of moving around, here it is moving around. Then when combined, here it is going back, here it is going forward, and side to side. So pretty good side to side actually. As for the hips though, they are ball sockets. So here are them going out to the side. You can't do a full split though. Here are them going forward. Here it is going back. So not too bad. And then you do have a thigh cut and the thigh swivel right over here, so pretty decent. Double jointed knees, pretty great range of motion. The top of the boot will get in the way a little bit though, but overall still pretty good. And it is pegged into the thigh, so you can swivel them at the knee if you'd like to. And then you have the ankle going this far back, this far forward, not too much forward though. You do get a toe hinge, but it's really loose, so I wouldn't balance anything on it. And then you do get some ankle pivot over here, ankle rocker. You can kind of finagle it. It's a little tight over here, but let me see if I can do it with this leg. Let's see. You can get about that much. So articulation is not bad over here. Pretty good, especially for such a simple design. Alright, so let me just kind of pull another character in for comparison though. So like I mentioned before, he's on the older type of body, so this one tended to have, whoa, here's Caesar though. These tended to have these hinged shoulders over here with the bicep swivel and the butterfly joint. And I thought it was just because of the outfit or design, but if I take a look at, say, Stardust Crusaders, Polnareff is supposed to be pretty muscular, I believe, and as you can see, Polnareff does not have a butterfly joint, actually, and he does not have a thigh or bicep swiveled either, right? So it's just an interesting comparison. I just wanted to show you guys, and the hips are different. These are pegged in and pegged in, whereas this is a socket. And so let me compare Caesar, since I have him right here too. Alright, so here is Josuke from Diamond is Unbreakable, and Caesar, a little larger as you can see, but even without a, well, I thought it was just because Joseph was shirtless, but as you can see, even with like a jacket on, Caesar still has a butterfly joint and a bicep swivel, whereas Josuke just has it pegged into the shoulder over here. So, just something interesting I wanted to share with you guys. Okay, that pretty much does it for the articulation of Joseph. Let's go ahead and take a look at the paint sculpt and kind of the smaller details of Joseph. Alright, so I just wanted to give you guys a size comparison for the other figures in Battle Tendency, and as you can see, it actually scales in pretty well. It looks like Caesar's is smaller than Joseph. I don't really remember if that's accurate, but if you remember, feel free to let me know in the comments. I just simply don't. I know the JOESTAR family is supposed to be pretty buff and big, so I don't know if they're like that much bigger. So yeah, let me know if you know. But since we're here, Joseph stands about 16.5 centimeters tall, which comes out to be roughly 6.5 inches. So that's pretty tall for a super action statue nowadays, actually. The ones nowadays tend to be about 6 inches. So pretty large, which makes sense, matches the art style though. But as you can see though, Joseph scales pretty well with the rest of Battle Tendency over here. The Pillarmen, of course, are pretty large in comparison, since they're not actually people. And I was going to show you the finer details of the figure, but I feel like you guys saw it as I was doing the articulation. So let me just do a quick front and back for you all, just so you have a good place to see it. So here's the front, here's the back, and while we're looking at Joseph though, let's take a look at the first Joseph over here. So essentially they are the same figure. As you can kind of see, the only real difference is that, the obvious thing is of course the paint scheme, but the main difference, if I were to kind of say anything, is mostly that like overall color scheme, that color scheme of the Winter Festival Joseph is just lighter overall, not only in the blue and the boots, and of course the brown hair, but also in the skin tone. And it actually still does make sense though. I mean, he is an English guy living in New York, so a pale English guy in America still makes sense. I suppose this is after he went to Italy to train and got all tanned, but who knows, it still works out pretty well. Okay, so in terms of whether or not I recommend Winter Festival Joseph, I would say it's a hard thing to answer. So, I mean, first off, is the answer good? Is the figure good? Undoubtedly. I would say this is probably one of my favorite figures that I have. I love the color scheme, and overall he comes with a lot of great accessories. The only problem is that he's very expensive. So if you can get your hands on the original Joseph, I would say do it. And if you can afford spending the money on Winter Festival Joseph, I'd recommend you do it. But it's going to run you over $200, and that's probably a good price. But Winter Festival Joseph does come with nicer colors, in my opinion. You know, and he also comes with this smirk, which is also a pretty big deal for me. So it's a hard thing to recommend. Is it good figure? Yes, absolutely. Is it worth it? It's kind of up to you to decide on how much you want to spend on your hobby. So that pretty much does it for the review though. I'm going to put Joseph in a few poses at the end for you all, but if you enjoyed, feel free to give me a thumbs up and subscribe for more videos. I'm going to try to do some more soon, I promise. I'm actually going to do a Q&A soon, but yeah, thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.